Hey guys, what's going on? Savage here. Today, after a massive amount of requests after our last video, we are going to be going over some solo gameplay. I usually love going train station, whether it's solos or duos or squads. This is something I love. It's usually pretty hot and you can get a couple picks right off the bat. You always want to start your games, if you're looking to chase kills, you always want to start your games off in a hot area. That way you can solidify a couple of kills before the first couple minutes is actually over with. Normally I don't play solos. I don't enjoy the staleness of it. I feel like a lot of people just kind of camp. If you're an aggressive player, it can be fun for you, but you really have to play super aggressive and push buildings and stuff when people are camping in corners. And it's just something I don't like doing. Plus I love squads and duos just because I have teammates to talk with and kind of makes the night go by faster. But nonetheless, here's some solo gameplay. This is my first match, my first solo gameplay since October of last year when this game came out. I haven't played solos since, so this is my first match back in, and I actually dropped a pretty nice game. But we're gonna go over my do's and don'ts of the game and what I should have done differently. Right here off the bat, of course, I got that first kill. That was pretty self-explanatory. No need to go over that. This right here is very awkward. And you see this a lot, dude. People love spamming nades. Now I'm a pretty bad shot. I'm also using a Maddox. I'm not really hitting many shots off in this guy, but for some reason he just felt the need to throw 3 grenades at me instead of actually shooting at me. He didn't seem like he was that bad of a shot. If he would have just stuck with his guns, he probably would have actually killed me, or at least gave me a run for my money. But he made it a little bit easier for me to kill. Right here, I'm just gonna run around and try to find any kind of action. I'm basically baiting myself right now. I definitely want somebody to see me so I can figure out where the enemies are at. Usually I would censor a car and drive around, but unfortunately we don't have that. So I'm just gonna be going to buildings that appear looted, and right here you'll see to the west, the building is definitely looted. So there's gotta be an enemy at least somewhere nearby, or was. I have really good headset, so at this point I do hear somebody in the northwest creeping up right now. I'm gonna sit here with my skulker on and absolutely annihilate this guy. Never even knew it hit him. Just completely annihilated. Definitely want to utilize your perks, especially in solos. I think perks are more important than grenades and grapples and all of that nonsense. The skulker right there basically made it dead silence when I was creeping on him, and it was really nice, really nice. My main perks is skulker, dead silence, awareness. I usually don't use awareness for duos and quads because, well, teammates' footsteps are loud as hell, but when you're playing solos, there's no worry about that at all. Awareness and dead silence is a great combination. Plus I usually like to rock paranoia as well. So right here I'm using the Maddox. I spot a guy on top of the roof and I just spray him down. This was a point where the Maddox was actually pretty good. Unfortunately I was really bad with my shots. The Maddox usually is not a good weapon, but for some reason this 2-week time frame right here, the Maddox is actually a laser. The guy just sitting on the roof, he doesn't seem to be aggressive at all. Of course I'm using the door strap to climb up into the roof, and this guy has no idea. There he is in the doorway. Missed my first shot and nail him with the second shot. When it comes to solos, you usually run into a lot of players that are just, and don't want to say it, but super body. I really don't know why people play like they do, but they just have no aggression for the most part. This guy right here is real weird. He stops the vehicle, so the blue isn't closing on us right now. He stops the vehicle and decides he wants to run the rest of the way. It cost him his life, and well, it made me laugh because I didn't really understand it. He almost pulled it off. Somehow he just annihilated me. What a shot on his part from the MOG. But he was already damaged, so it made it a real easy one shot on my part. And then, of course, I'm going to take his vehicle and get safe. Now, there's no reason for it. He didn't see me at first. He saw me once he already got out the vehicle. So it's not like he stopped the vehicle to engage on me. I don't really know what his reasoning was. I think he just hit the rock and decided, you know what, screw it, I'm walking the rest of the way. But the circle's a pretty far distance, so bad play on his part, and it cost him his life. But when it comes to pushing an enemy, especially if they're behind a tree or something, you want to pepper them with your AR as much as possible. If you're using an AR or a sniper as your primary and SMG or shotty as your secondary, you want to pepper them as much as you can while you're pushing, like I did there. And then as soon as he's weak enough to get one tapped, or at least, you know, half health, you want to actually just whip out your secondary and finish them off. No need to sit there and get in this med battle. A lot of times you'll see people fighting behind trees. You'll have one target behind a tree and you're behind a tree yourself. You know, just peeking each other and hitting each other, and you know, you're just wasting bandages getting in this tap heal, tap heal, tap heal. I like to go full balls to the wall. If I know he's half health, I'm gonna push his ass if I have more health than he does. You can see here I'm playing the ridge. A lot of people, when they're in the blue, they'll just run straight out of the blue, not really pay attention to the surroundings. If I would have gone straight down the center, I would have been in the low part of the map. Of course, I'm gonna rotate west and try to get the higher ground. Now, this guy right here just parks his vehicle, and I don't really know what he's doing. He's creeping up, crouch walking, which isn't a bad strategy if you're already stealth. He pulls up in an SUV or a Tahoe, so to speak, literally gives his position away, and then starts crouch walking. I don't understand the play on that one. It doesn't make any damn sense. If you're gonna pull up with a car, you might as well just pull up and sprint right at whatever you're trying to pull up on. Of course, it cost him his life as well. He turns on me. He doesn't try to get back to cover. He just challenges me out there in the middle of nowhere with no trees, no bushes, nothing to hide behind or break the line of sight. Of course, I'm going to use his SUV, and now that I have a sensor dart, sensor it up and try to hunt down any kind of campers or bush Wookiees that I can find. Right there on sensor dart, spot a guy. He's deciding to push me right now. I think he has mesh mine, so I'm going to pull away from him a little bit, get the high ground, and I guess try to run him over. Of course, there's a nade right there. I jump out. He had a concussion, sorry. I jump out, and the vehicle actually just finishes him off for me. So that's it worked out in my favor. I'll never understand exactly what that was for. Why would you concuss me? If it was a sticky, which I thought it was, if it was a sticky, that makes sense. But if you're just running out there in the open with your concussion out, you're just asking to get annihilated. Never concuss when you're out in the open. Only concuss if you're behind a ridge, behind a tree, something where you can't just get peppered on, because you really have no way of defending yourself at that point. Here we have another target sprinting out in the open. For some reason, he doesn't third party when I'm fighting that guy. He just runs right past, miss my first 2 shots, and finish him off with the next 2. I love the Mog. It's a lot of fun to use, especially in solos. 1v1ing is just, it's Mog City, dude. Mogs are a little bit more difficult to use in duos and quads. Quads more than anything, but when solos, it's perfect, dude. It's perfect. And of course, with blue coming in, I have the sensor on the vehicle. If the blue does hit the sensor dart, it will explode the sensor dart. So I want to try to get in the vehicle as fast as possible after I pop this trauma, and continue to drive around looking for any kind of campers or anything that I can see to fight and get that kill count up. We're already rocking 8 kills, and there's only 22 people left. Solos is a weird thing. It's not really consistent. Sometimes you'll get games where everyone dies in the beginning, and sometimes you'll get games where everyone's just camping and there's 50 people at the end. Again, another reason why I don't play solos is for the campers. I just hate dealing with it. I don't like the slow gameplay. I don't mind playing aggressive and pushing people with sensor darts and vehicles, but it just gets stale after a while. When you see people just camping up, it's for some reason very infuriating to me. Of course, in solos, sensors are your friend. It's the easiest way to spot campers or anybody coming up on you. And there we have a vehicle behind me. I don't know if I noticed it. Doesn't look like it. I continue to drive to the south. One thing that I always try to keep an eye on is a mini-map. Always, always, always pay attention to your mini-map. And right there, for some reason, I just didn't. I think I was too tunneled on the compound. So I had no idea that vehicle's actually on the hill I was just on. I'm rocking 60 HP, which is less than half, and I know that there's a vehicle near me right now, and I don't know what I'm trying to do. I don't know what gameplay is right here. I'm pretty sure the vehicles ended up driving off. Now, of course, right here, I'm gonna go all the way to the tippy top. I'm gonna stop. The sensor dart's indicating if anyone's around me. Since I'm on the high ground, no one can really see me from the bottom. Only a few sniping positions from Array and possibly Nuketown, but Nuketown, I doubt will ever decide to chow that far. Here's a guy coming on ATV. I remember this fight. This was very bad shots on my part, and this player right here and players like him, I never understood. I'll never understand it. I'm never against running people over at all, and you'll see me do it pretty often, but if you miss the first pass, jump off and fight the target, or you'll end up dead like him. He misses his first pass, and then he drives in like a semi-half circle, and once he realizes he can't get the angle he wants, he decides to jump off, and by that point, I already peppered him twice with the Mog, and he was just an easy one-tap. When you see players just driving in cars over, just in circles and circles and circles over and over and over, it's not only annoying as hell, but it's not skillful at all. You're just putting yourself in a position to get head tapped out, especially the Vendetta being in the game and the LTMs right now. Vendetta is headshot city. It literally takes no skill to get headshot with the Vendetta against a vehicle. So if you're in LTM like the Fog Quads currently, do not try the vehicle strat. In fact, you see less people driving vehicles because of that. Now right here, despite the sensor dart being covered by zombies, all the zombies are aggroed. You always got to pay attention to the zombies. I know they're chasing something because they're climbing up the building that I'm not on. This guy's so busy fighting zombies that he didn't even challenge me. It was the easiest kill of my life. I never understood the point of going for the zombies and going for the crates and stuff like that, especially when it's in game. There's only 14 people left. It's just a waste of time. To me, the zombie crates just aren't worth the risk versus reward. And of course, me being me with the MOG, I'm going to be utilizing grapples. I feel like if you want to get better with the MOG, you're going to have to challenge things you shouldn't challenge, and that's going to require some grapples. Now, this vehicle in front of me is taunting me clearly, going side to side, spinning in circles. I don't really know what he's doing. It's got to be a child or something, just having fun. He does this weird turn. I don't understand exactly what he's doing. It's very confusing, going around in circles on me, and of course, I'm just going to get in the passenger seat and mesh mine the shit out of him. Now, this is a very nice tactic. It's a pretty common one. For some reason, it wouldn't let me lose bag there. You gotta love the bag glitches. It's a pretty common tactic, but I love it. It's one of my favorites, especially in solos. When someone's driving a vehicle, most of the time, they're not gonna switch to try to shoot at you. So I'll just switch seats, get the mesh mine ready, and mesh him when he comes on the other side of me. Now, right here, you have two teams third partying me. This guy's completely oblivious, has no idea. He's still tunneled on the dead body that he just killed, and I just come up on him and shoot him. It honestly wasn't even fair. He was in the blue, but he's got to win those. Now, right here, I spotted a crate to the north. I'm pretty sure people are going to be pushing out of a race. I'm going back on the hill I've already cleared just to double check again. Of course, switching seats to pop the med. Didn't really have enough speed, and I'm going uphill, so it could have been an easy headshot on myself. Definitely should not have done that, but it worked out for the benefit. And this guy's just throwing nades, shoots his gun, hits me one time. Again, I don't understand the nade thing when it comes against vehicles. There's a lot of players that can actually cook the grenade perfectly and blow a vehicle up with it, absolutely. But if you're a new player or even an average player, it's not really what you want to go with. You want to stay your cover, you want to shoot at the guy, try to get a headshot off on it, and call it a day. He has really put himself in a vulnerable position. It was only able to get one shot off. You see a lot of times these people using nades and mesh mines and all these like operator weapons like the Sparrow and the flamethrower and all these things, and they'll get a kill or two with it, but when it comes to actual shooting, they don't have enough practice with it because they're utilizing equipment to get their kills more than anything else. Normally at this stage in the game, I would want to play as passive as I can, play the edge of the circle, and play smart. I'm kind of going balls to the wall right here, and with this compound right here, this is not a smart play at all. Anybody with a decent shot with a mesh mine could absolutely annihilate me if they're in those buildings on the roof for a second story or so. I got real lucky right here. Of course, I don't think anybody is in the compound. But right now, I'm just spinning circles, trying to aggro any kind of shot so I know where I need to push to. At this point in the game, if you didn't see it, there was a helicopter in the sky. I do remember this, and it was annoying as hell. The helicopter literally flew around the entire game. I went back and looked in the theater mode. He got in the helicopter at the very beginning and didn't get out of it, and you'll see me deal with this helicopter here in a second. It's very annoying, a pain in my ass, and I believe it was the last guy too. I believe he got to second place with it. Right here, I spot an ARAV going to the tower. I have mesh mines. I know I have mesh mines. I'm gonna want to bait this guy as hard as I can. Now right here, I'm going to get the kill with the mesh mine. It's a pretty easy kill. I believe it's with the mesh mine. I do blow it up. I don't know if I actually get it or not. He sees me and he decides to drive to me still, even seeing the mesh mines that I had placed. All right, here he is, just still flying around. I'm just waiting for him to land on me, get the balls to actually jump out and fight. And my thought process right now is he's going to try to stay in here till the last circle, until his helicopter becomes unusable. Right now I'm getting shot at from behind. This guy, the whole time I'm fighting zombies, this guy literally is sitting in a corner. So I'm up there fighting zombies by myself, 3 of them, and just wasting ammo, wasting shots, vulnerable as hell. And instead of him coming up there to challenge me, he's sitting behind the dumpster, and he doesn't wait until I'm jumped off going back to my vehicle before he actually takes his shot. If you were that guy, or if I was that guy, what I would recommend you do, if you hear someone fighting zombies on the roof above you, climb up the ladder, jump up the side, do whatever you got to do, get up there and fight. I could have been killed real easily, especially when I had a MOG and I'm focused on something else and getting damage from zombies. I was an easy kill. I was in a vulnerable position. 1, I shouldn't have been doing that. 2, he definitely should have done the complete opposite of what he did. So right now there's 2 people left, and of course it is the helicopter guy. I'm trying to find this dude. You'll never believe what this kid is doing. When you see people flying helicopters in circles the entire game, avoiding fights, this is what I preach the most on streams. Guys, if you want to get better, if you want to improve your gameplay, take some chances, fight, gamble. This guy's literally sitting by the tree, not even shooting at me. I'm visible as hell. I'm trying to bait something, and he's not shooting. There he goes. Finally, after I shoot him, he actually shoots. When players sit there and they wait for you to sit still before they shoot you with an AR, that's a full sign of a complete noob, full sign of a bot. And at that point, I know that, and I'm going to push this dude into Kingdom Come. I have a concussion ready, and what happens next is just laughable as hell. There he is, laying prone in the grass. Even watching that the second time is just, oh, I'll never understand why players play like that. Guys, if you're in that position, if you're in a one-on-one, don't lay prone and just wait. Don't do it. You have to play the game. You have to practice. Everyone just tries to get that win, but they don't ever try to get better. They don't ever try to improve their gunplay. That kid flew around the entire map, avoiding fighting, avoiding using his trigger, and avoiding practicing, basically, just to get to number 2, to lay there and get shot in the head. If you get to the end position, it doesn't matter, guys. If you're not skilled, if you haven't practiced enough with the guns, if you're in a one-on-one and you're at second place, what are the odds of you actually winning the game? You might get lucky. You might win by luck a lot. But if you want to improve as a player, guys, get ready to lose a lot. I only have a 34% win-loss ratio, so I've lost, what is that, 66% of my games, and I have over 1,500 wins now. So that's a lot of losses. Get prepared to lose, guys. Don't worry about losing. Just literally challenge everything. Fight, man. Fight. It's the only way to get better and win more consistently. But guys, that is it for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, I don't play solos often, but after the last video, people in the comment section were just really want me to do it on the solo games, and I don't have many to show, but this one we did do, and hopefully this helps you guys, enlighten you on how to be a little bit more aggressive during solos. But much love, guys. I appreciate y'all, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and leave a comment in the section below and let me know what kind of video you want next. If you want duos, solos, Alcatraz, whatever the case may be, I'll try to address everybody's needs. But guys, if you want to see any live action, join me here on YouTube at 4 o'clock Central Standard Time, and also we stream on Twitch during the daytime. Make sure you follow me on Twitch as well. Instagram and Twitter links in the description below, and you guys have a nice night. Good luck out there, boys. Peace.